Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Imagine Golf podcast brought to you by Imagine Golf, helping you get the game you've always imagined. You can go to our website at imaginegolf.com and check out all of our tools, including our free ebooks, practice plans, lesson plans, and all of our training aids. And you can sign up for free golf tips that go out once a week, every week, by simply giving us your email address. Hey, I want to talk to a subject today that's pretty easy, but not many people really give it a whole lot of thought, and that's how to select a golf instructor, and probably more importantly than that, how not to. All right, so let's talk about how to do it. I've been around the game now for 45 years, and I definitely have seen good instructors and bad instructors. There are just under 20,000 licensed or certified golf instructors across the U.S., and they're not all good. All right, if you just simply looked at quartiles, right? If you broke them down into quartiles, the top 25% are going to be way better than the bottom 25%, and everyone in the middle is going to be average. So it's not unlike any other profession out there. So you can't just roll up and go to your local club and say, hey, I want to take a golf lesson, sign me up for golf lessons, or go to a Golf Galaxy and, hey, I want to buy a 6-lesson package, or go to one of these, God forbid, marketplaces like lessons.com or Thumbtack and, say, hey, I want to take a bunch of lessons, and you get a paragraph or a few sentences back, and then you make your decision based on that. I mean, just when you say that out loud, it's just crazy, right? So again, in my opinion, it's critical that you go through a few different things and just kind of interview, for lack of a better, this golf instructor and get an idea of what you're getting yourself into, because you're going to pay some decent money and you're going to spend a lot of your time and energy, which is probably even more important than the money. So, but in my opinion, one of the goal, I should say, should be simply, look, can this instructor get me or get you to the swing or the game or the level that you aspire to, right? And if you don't have a high confidence level in that person, then why in the world would you endeavor with more lessons or with lessons from them, right? So there's only, in the United States, there's only about 11 to 12% of all golfers even take lessons, right? So if you're finally at that point where you're going to take a lesson, or you decide, hey, I'm going to get better, serious about this game, then it's important to you select. And look, in my opinion, one of the overriding factors is experience. Experience does matter. Again, getting back to the United States stats, the average pro in the United States, golf pro, does about 500 lessons annually, 500. So they've been around for 10 years. That's 5,000 lessons, right? Good, right? Not great, but it's good. There are instructors out there, though, that have given 7,000, 10,000, 20,000, right? 30,000 lessons. Christ, Hank Haney out there has given 70-some plus thousand, right? At Imagine Golf here, I've given 27,000 lessons. So I got to believe in 27,000 lessons, I've seen more and have helped more people than the guy or girl that's done 5,000 lessons. So, ask the individual that you're interviewing, if you would, or considering, hey, man, how many lessons have you given? And if they don't know that number, then run. That's a real game breaker right there, right? Deal breaker, I should say, right? If they don't know how many lessons they've given, then you got to get out of there. So, but seriously though, ask them who they've coached, right? Have they coached with anybody at a high level, as an example? Have they coached Division I golfers? Have they gotten anyone to collegiate golf? Not that that's a requirement, but if they have, have they done well at it? Do they have a youth program? How many high school golfers if they work with youth? How many golfers made the team last year? As an example here at Imagine, we had 37 youth golfers try out for their high level high school team. 34 of them made it this season. So we're proud of that number. A lot of golfers out there, a lot of golf instructors, out there can't even answer those numbers, right? So, do they work with any professionals, right? They don't have to work with, someone Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, all those guys that are currently on the PGA Tour, but have they worked with golf professionals? Again, here at Imagine, we work with a handful of professionals in the Northeast part of the United States, and we're proud of that. And that's important to know when you're going to select a golf instructor. It's interesting. We do a kind of an entrance, questionnaire on everybody, and we go through the same questions every single time with a new golfer, new student. But one of the questions is simply, have you had professional instruction before? And if that answer is yes, and about probably 30-40% of the time it is, we ask them, okay, well, who was it and where? And I'm amazed. At least 75-80% of the time, I am simply amazed. I get a roundabout, vague answer like, oh, it's such and such over at, ABC Club, or, at CDE Range or whatever, right? Or, it's Tom over at ABC whatever, right? But then very rarely do they know the first and last name and where that individual works. So that's all you need to know about how that experience was, right? So, you've got to do your homework on who you're going to select. And here are some other things, right? Can you watch them? Can you watch them in person before you select them? They're on a driving range, they're giving a lesson. Can you roll up on them and 2 stalls down and kind of covertly take a look at the lesson, right? And how they interact with their students, right? What is their demeanor, right? Are they the stereotypical golf instructor that stands behind a student and just gives them orders the whole time, or are they involved with the student, right? Because this is what you're going to be paying for. This is going to be you if you select this instructor. They're not going to be different for you than they are for John Doe or Mary Doe over there. They're going to be the same, right? So if you can see them in person, absolutely take advantage of that. If you can't see them in person, get online, right? Check them out online. Do they have some videos? Are they on social media? Do they have a podcast? No, just kidding. But you get the idea, right? Check them out and see what you think, right? How about reviews, right? Someone that's given 5,000 lessons should have a significant amount of reviews, right? Here at Imagine Golf, we have 2,000 5-star reviews. I got to tell you, that's more than most of our competitors combined in my local area here, right? I don't say that to impress you. I'm just telling you, if a golf instructor is good, people will review them, all right? If you're rolling up on your golf instructor and they have, 40 reviews, the guy's been in business for 15 years and he's got 40 reviews, run. There's a reason, all right? More importantly than the reviews, what are their certifications? I should say just as importantly, not more importantly, what are their certifications? If they're just PGA certified, that's great, but that's it. You got your PGA certification 15 years ago and you haven't done anything since? That doesn't sound good, right? Here at Imagine, we got at least 17 different certifications. And again, not to impress you, but there are different pieces of the game and there are different tools that you need to be certified on so that you can be better at your craft. All right. So what are they certified in? And again, if they don't have at least a couple recent certifications, run. Right. The game has changed. Equipment has changed. Techniques have changed. All right. Technology has changed significantly. So if they're not up to date on those 3 things, man, then it's going to be a problem. You're going to get an average lesson from an average instructor. All right. What is their philosophy? Right. What do they believe in? At Imagine Golf here, we believe that there's an infinite number of ways to swing a golf club. Trust me, I've seen them all, right? There's an infinite ways. We don't believe there's one way to swing a golf club, but there is one way to be most efficient in a golf swing for every student. And there's the rub. That's what we're trying to figure out at Imagine Golf all the time. Every day, every lesson, how can I make that golfer more efficient in their golf swing? Because the more efficient they are, the better they'll strike the ball. The better they strike the ball, the more confidence they have. The more confidence they have, the better they'll play. And it's just a positive rolling snowball that starts as opposed to a negative spiral downwards. So that's our philosophy at Imagine Golf. And we even back it up. We have a get better guarantee. If you don't get better in your lesson, no questions asked, you can have your money back, right? And in 27,000 lessons, we've never, and I repeat, never been asked for a refund. And again, I'm not saying that to impress anyone. I'm just telling you that's the way we roll here, right? We don't want any student that's not happy and that's not getting better. And we take our business seriously. We absolutely will guarantee you get better, whether it's a half-hour lesson, 45-minute lesson, or an hour lesson. We offer them all. But you're going to get better from the time that you walked in to before the time that you leave. And that's important. Every golf instructor that's worth their weight in salt, or my dad used to say, worth their weight, you should be able to see almost immediate improvement, but definite improvement before the end of the lesson. So the guy, the girl that hooks the ball should hook it less. The guy or girl that slices the ball should slice it less. If you're over the top, it should be less. And you should see that in the ball flight and the feeling that the golfer has or that you have from your lesson. And if you don't, there is a problem. There is absolutely a problem. All right. So again, I hear it all the time. Oh, I've been taking lessons for 6 weeks, 6 months or whatever. And I still hook the ball or I still slice the ball. What? What have you been doing for 6 lessons? What have you been doing for 6 months? I mean, it's just not supposed to be that way. All right. So, ask these questions of the potential candidates that you're like almost interviewing, if you would. And I guarantee you, you're going to have a better experience. Now, by the way, nowhere am I saying that we fix everyone in one lesson. That's not what I'm saying. All right. But you will see definite differences in the first lesson and right away. You're not going to be consistent. I get that, right? Consistency only comes with time. All right. Nobody can make you a better golfer immediately in one lesson. All right. But they can put you on a plan like we do here. We can put you on a plan to play better golf. And that's really what you're looking for, right? The other things I think you should look for, what kind of communication style do they have? In other words, do you get a lesson recap after every lesson? Is there any type of follow-up, right? What is the plan? Do you get a written plan, right? If you show up to your second lesson and the instructor looks at you and says, "Hey, Daniel, how's it going, man? Great, Mike, great, whatever." It's a little small talk. Hey, what is it you want to work on today? Man, you're not getting a good lesson, right? You're not getting a good experience, and you're likely not going to get any better, I assure you. So what is the plan? There should be a definitive plan. Can you contact them when you need to, right? Do they take your phone call? Will they answer your email in a day? Will you answer your text within a day? Can you send them a swing, right? You're having a challenge. You're on vacation, with your buddies or whatever on a golf trip, and you can't hit the ball straight anymore. Can you send them a quick video? Will they get back to you? All right. To me, those things are important and are a good indicator of a good golf instructor and an immersive golf instruction experience, right? And if they're again, look at you with glassy eyes, then I think you should run. All right, for sure. I think that's enough, right? I mean, it's really basic common sense, right? I have people say to me all the time, especially in mixed company, I took lessons, it didn't work, and I didn't get any better. I went right back to my habits, and I just look at them and I said, "Look, man, you didn't take a lesson from us, and you certainly didn't take a lesson with me because." That's not the way we roll, and that wouldn't happen if you came to Imagine Golf, and especially if you were with me here. So you should see, like I said, the improvement immediately. And if you're not, you're with the wrong individual. So that's kind of my take, if you would, on how to select a golf instructor, right? And I also shared with you how not to do it, right? Just don't roll in there and just don't ad hoc, just select a golf instructor. So put some time and energy into it. Nothing I spoke about today takes a lot of time and energy. And it's pretty much, like I said, it's common sense. And if you'll do it, believe me, you'll get more for your money, and you certainly won't be wasting your time. To me, at 56 years old, everything is about time, and I can't stand to waste it. So if I was 5 or 6 lessons into a lesson package or a lesson experience with a golf professional and I wasn't getting better, I'd be out of my mind. So anyway, that's it for today. I appreciate you listening. Make sure, do me a favor, I should say, and hit the follow button below. We're on all the usual podcast subscribers: Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, and anywhere you get your podcasts. Check us out again at imaginegolf.com for free tips. And feel free to DM me at any time or email me at any time. All right. Thank you. Take care.